Ugh. I'm Hi. We're gonna watch something goofy because I watched this like two and I forgot about it. I want to watch it again. It's it's what is it? And it's like it's called the 227 War, I think it was called. Yeah, the peak of Chinese internet war. And it's what website it was on? It was Weibo? No, it wasn't Weibo. This was a different one. I love this guy's content. It's so funny. Uh it's very goofy. How do you feel about Chinese drama? I think it's very funny. I think it's very funny. Got YT, we've got TT. I think already connected. All right, I think that's all the chats that are connected. All right, we're gonna watch what fangirls do in China because they decide to get upset at each other.
If you're under the impression the last time China had a civil war was 1949, then allow me to say today that you might be under the wrong impression. Grab a seat if you're standing. Actually, I don't know why you would do that. Brace yourself if you're sitting down,
That's
because today
fair.
let's talk about a war. An
Fair.
internet war, also known as the
I do know
227
Stray
Revolution. A
Kids.
conflict that has
I
changed
I
the internet
definitely know
landscape
Stray
forever in
Kids.
a
I know a
single
lot
side of the
of
stratosphere.
the
The war that
K-pop.
taught billions of netizens all around the country that you and I can set aside our differences when united against a common enemy. After all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So let's begin with a person who the whole story will revolve around. Xiaozhan originally debuted as an idol in 2015. He wasn't high profile
My
by any means, but he did stand
my
out.
favorite though for K-pop is Shiny. It used to be Shiny and Big Bang, but after the Burning Sun scandal, obviously, I no longer like. Oh, it's not that I don't like Big Bang. It's that I don't like Sing Yuri. Everyone else was chill though. Everyone else was chill. Wait, has Stray Kids been around since 28? Has Stray Kids been around that long? I remember when they came out. Wait, no, you're kidding me, right? Wait. Wait, I don't believe you. Wait. What year? There's no way. Oh my god. Oh my god. Weren't they like third? Oh my god, weren't they like third gen? Oh my god, I feel old all of a sudden. Oh my god, the back aches. I mean, it already ached, but it aches more. That oh wait. When did Shiny come out? Wait, did Shiny debut? Oh god, not 2008. Oh heavens. Oh good heavens. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. I'm gonna pretend. I'm going to pretend I did not see that. Ugh. Hello, welcome man. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Wait. How old is Anu? How old is how old are they? Anu's 36. Hey, 32. 36, 34, 34, and 32, and then Josh Young passed away in 2017. I remember that. Oh my good heavens, I feel old. Ah, ah. I gotta ignore it. I gotta ignore it. I gotta ignore it. It doesn't exist if I choose to ignore how old my biases are getting. Ah. It doesn't exist if I don't look at it. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, having an older bias is fun. I've been standing Anu and Ki for quite a while. Uh I like Jahyung as well, but Taemin is also really good. Stray Kids, I really stopped after Gen 2. Just because I struggled with it. But Elevator is a crazy good song. Not gonna lie. Elevator goes hard. Sorry, my tummy. Hi, hello, welcome in. Sorry, I was freaking out because I found out how old I was. Ah, ha ha.
because he was marginally older.
We're
And
gonna
more
go
importantly,
back to
not a
watching the
typical
video.
trainee with a professional trainee background. I mean, bro was a graphics designer in his 20s, zero formal idol training, recruited randomly
Welcome
off the streets,
in,
pretty much, which
hi.
sounds ridiculous. But I want you to know that that was a breath of fresh air compared to the industry-engineered idols with the same act that people were kind of starting to hate. So this rawness made him just a little more relatable and down to earth compared to the others, and that was enough to cultivate him a very loyal following. Let's call them the
Alino
Seojan
bias,
loyalists.
yeah.
Faction number one.
I don't know which one that
But you
is.
see, if you had to pin down a point
really
in
need
time
to-
exactly on
I
when
really need to
Seojan
get back
became
into K-pop.
mainstream, that'll be 2019, following the release of a drama series he co-starred in with Wang Yibo.
Okay, but wait, y'all like Chinese drama? I like Chinese drama though. I mean, this shit's peak. Some of it's peak. Some of it's peak. I like Empress in the Palace. I think was the name. Like it's like something episodes. I think I have it on YouTube, which is really good. I love it. I'm pretty good. I'm a little sick, but we here. We balling, balling. And I gotta get ready for a job interview later. So we balling, balling, balling.
Another famous idol actor. The show is called Untamed.
How about y'all?
Now this one
Did I
is a
ask
little
that? I
different
don't
from
remember.
a
I'm
typical
very
love drama
tired. I
series
woke up
because
less
it's
than-
actually adapted from the famous
But I was
BL
like, I
novel,
gotta
as
stream
in
early
Boy Love,
today.
我到组诗, which already had a die-hard cult
Yeah,
fan base
Boy
to begin with
Love!
because it's boy love. Unlike regular fandoms where you get plenty of casual or fake fans, Boy Love is a different beast. You don't stumble into
No! Oh my god! What is that? Where is that from? That, oh my god, it's like, it's worse. It's worse than the Yaoi hands. It's so much worse. Oh my god, I love it. I I love it. It's horrible. Uh-huh. I hate that I know a lot more about this than I care to admit about the Yaoi fandom. Like not a crazy amount, not a crazy amount, but I know a few good ones that if I said the name, it would strike fear into the hearts of many involved.
it by accident. I'm sure everybody who's in it is in it for the love of the game. Plus, accompanied by the fact that Xiaozhan really was a great actor, perfectly capturing the performance and the chemistry
Oh,
between the two leads
yeah!
while dancing around.
I know this one. This is that one. I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen it. But very much so. Very much so. What is it? I've seen this one like all over the internet. This is like apparently like the ultimate boy love. I cannot remember the plot for the life of me. Plot for the But apparently it's pretty big. It's pretty large. And now I normally see in the fandom spaces that I used to go in, I used to only see the anime. I never saw like the live action stuff like that because a lot of older fans, from what I remember, if I'm thinking about it, we didn't like shipping real people. We didn't like shipping real people because kind of weird. Be a little like you guys are in my. That'll be better.
This forbidden topic. The Untamed then went on to become a show like never before. It was like the godfather of BL. So within months, right, Xiaozhan went from kind of this niche idol to the hottest male star in China, with luxury brand deals bidding all over his image.
No, no, wait, they did him so dirty. What the hell?
With luxury brand deals bidding all over.
Oh, they did him so dirty. Oh my god. That's fantastic. Wait. That's hilarious. I love them for that. They fucked my guy up. Oh my god.
Over his image. That sounded really weird. You get my point though, right? By
They
late
fucked him
2019,
up.
as the show skyrockets in popularity, Xiaozhan becomes #1 in traffic, sparking
China's
a new
most
faction and
popular
rise following its weight.
gays?
The couple brigade. You know, the shippers, the YN readers, the Wattpad enthusiasts, whatever you want to call them, they just had one goal, and that is
Oh.
Wang Yibo and Xiaozhan is a good couple.
I need you to know. Never. Never. Never go to Wattpad. Never. Oh my god. Never. Oh my god. Those years. They were good years. They were good years back in the 2000s. But now you should know. It's so bad. Just go to AO3. I'm so for real. If you're gonna do that, just not the Wattpad. Not the Wattpad. It's like when somebody says Wattpad, I feel like I have a full body flashbang, and it's like, that flashbang noise. That's what it feels like. I'm so for real. That's what it feels like. A full body flashbang.
This couple is my life, and I'm standing on business defending the couple. So the two factions exist in harmony for a period of time, except the Loyalist faction never really liked the other fan base. I mean, I'll tell you exactly what it is. You see, Loyalists are in it for Xiaozhan, and Xiaozhan only. They don't really care too much about the couple stuff. It's more of a parasocial thing. But the CP fans, on the other hand, well, they were in it for the coupling, which means they like the situation that's going on, but if the situation breaks, then you know it's just on to the next. So then from the perspective of the Loyalists, you're not exactly a ride or die. You're not one of us. But seeing that we're both fans of Xiaozhan, let's exist in harmony.
I feel like maybe we shouldn't be. Oh, you can't see it, but the abbreviation
greater good
is not the best for that.
For our idol. Until one day, everything changed. Now here's the thing. The Untamed was gaining some pretty notable attention, and by early 2020, this stuff was all over the fandoms. Every major fandom website had the couple trending, especially on Weibo, where the term 博君一笑, a clever fandom pun based on 博君一笑, which means to make you smile. Except the first and final characters is kind of replaced with the two respective names of the celebrities, kind of like Tom Holland, Zendaya, Tom Daya. Anyways, the point is the couple begins to trend under those keywords. So the ship begins to sail, and one notably gifted
ship names are so funny. But one thing I've learned politely all my years in online spaces, especially VTubing and VR, stop the Chinese. Never piss off the Chinese. Actually, just any Asian space. Don't piss them off. Because for some reason, anytime I see it, I see like stocks and stuff drop by like 50%. I see like the whole system crash and grovel. And it's so funny because I'm not involved, but if I was involved, I would just shut down. Like I would be so terrified. And I actually wanted to do a JP and a Chinese inspired model. Possibly a Korean at some point. But right now, just Chinese, Japanese. I wear a lot of my May Quinn or horse face skirts IRL. I wear a lot of them. I have one that I wear about every day. It's very pretty. It's red with I believe it's lotus flowers. Very pretty. Uh so I wanted to do that, and I had seen an avatar that had one that was all pink, and I'm also getting a blue one as well to go with some of my Jedi Kai, or Jedi K outfits. That way I can mix in some more Chinese elements. And I realized that unfortunately if I did anything wrong, I don't know. I know Japan is a little bit lenient on it for the VTubers, but if I do anything wrong, I run the risk of upsetting the Chinese VTuber space, and I don't know. I know they're all on Bilibili for the most part, but they still scare me. They still scare me. They do. They do. they they do. It's this primal fear that I've seen after like VR. It's so goofy, but it's so true. And the good example is this video what they're about to do, because I kind of remember what this video is about, but yeah.
CP Brigade member was so touched by this beautiful relationship, she vowed on the internet to write the best fanfiction you'll ever see in your goddamn life.
Have I never posted
So she started to
my
cook,
horse face
and
skirt
she
in
poured her heart and
the
soul
in
into
the
creating one
Discord?
of the
I think
most
I thought I had.
most world class, the state-of-the-art BL fanfiction anybody's ever seen. So by February 24th, 2020,
I had.
Xia Zhui was born. Released onto Archive of Our Own, one of the world's biggest fanfiction websites. Now, I don't know why I'm clarifying, but I have not read it. But I will tell you a one-sentence summary of the plot, okay? So, in this fanfiction, Xiaozhan is a male escort who identifies as a female, where Wang Yibo is a frequent customer, and the rest is up to your imagination. But here's the thing.
They did the
Because
horse
after
dirty. What the hell?
fanfiction was released onto the archive, the story was so widely consumed, appreciated by the CP Brigade, that even fan art derivatives of this piece of work began to trend on hot searches. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a problem for the CP Brigade, because there was an unspoken rule to being in a fandom of that nature in China. If you're in the community, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it, and that is simply the edgier the shit you're into, the less bodies needs to know, right? Because mainstream and alt culture is already kind of like fire and water, they just don't really mix.
Yaoi or Yoi is that if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's how it be. That's how it is. It's less so now, but back then, I mean, we passed that shit along through like, oh, I'm trying to think, what did we use back then? Mostly Amino, honestly. We used Amino back then. There was like I think there was a Yaoi Amino, honestly. I think it got taken down though because they were like, yeah, this is problematic. But we used to pass that shit along. Like if some of us got it, we would just send it to each other. So funny. Not even like the sexual photos, just like edits, like YouTube edits, like the horrible, like not even like CapCut, but like Microsoft PowerPoint. Every time we touch, flashy imagery with like the slow fades and the pinwheel turns, and then like the glittery like surroundings. Like that's what we used to consume. Oh, it was horrible. Now that I look back on it, it was such bad quality. But it was so great. It was so funny.
So shortly after the release, I'm talking within a day, the Xiaozhan Loyalist headquarters received consecutive reports, rumors that a piece of diabolical content involving their idol was spreading across the internet. Of course, the Loyalists were seething to see this defiling happening in real time, spreading like a plague.
Or you say our brother's
rippled
name?
more and more towards the center of their communication network, hundreds of Xiaozhan Loyalist fans mobilized to track down this source of evil, with all signs pointing to one website, AO3. Now, the same day after the release of this content, a skirmish was launched as waves and waves of reports came flooding the fanfiction, temporarily crashing the AO3 servers and putting heavy—
I love that. Imagine being so dedicated that you crash an entire site with reports. That's I respect it in like the most insane way.
Burdens onto the relevant web pages as readers struggle to log in. Now, to preserve the sacred text, however, the author uploads a backup into another app, Lofter, creating a safe haven
I don't
where the
think that
CP
one.
brigades could regroup. And as the siege continues throughout the day onto the EO3 copy, despite Loyalists' best efforts, the fanfiction refuses to go down simply because, well, these reports, although burdensome, are nowhere near significant enough for anybody to take action. So the Loyalists quickly learnt that unlike a regular troll account that usually goes down after a few reports, if it's a citadel that we're trying to break through, then only a single concentrated mass report campaign will have any chance of success. So then somebody, perhaps the most devoted loyalists of us all, needs to coordinate this attack.
General Zanby?
Today I am not speaking up for my idol. I'm speaking up for all artists who have suffered as a result. Artists are deeply harmed by malicious fanfiction.
Not malicious fanfiction!
Speak out to protect their rights. This malicious fanfiction attack isn't just limited to one artist, and it won't end now. See, General Zanby is a devoted Xiaojian fan, indoctrinated since the earliest days. Now, Zanby's account activities throughout the past 8 years has been exclusively dedicated towards retweeting.
Wait, did that say incel activities for real?
Has been
incel activities from alts. That's so great. I love this. I love the Asian dedication to like Yumi shipping and stan accounts and all that. It's so funny. It's so interesting because like I used to be like that, not to an extreme. But I was like, oh, I really like this character. I wonder if I could like you know, I don't know, maybe I could like make them like my phone background for a while, and I would maybe stuff like that. I never made entire accounts dedicated to them. Like, the high school girl Suna has two personalities. Her primary personality is a naive and innocent little pig girl. But when she is provoked, her secondary personality emerges, turning her into a dark yandere obsessive delinquent girl. And then amazing desire brother. It's so good. Nickname Nan District Little Rabbit. And then their introduction, like, that's third, I think. The culture. How and clarify and refute. Oh my god.
Exclusively dedicated towards retweeting and liking Xiaojian activities. Now, being one of the most senior members in the Xiaojian loyalists, she was also the first to...
What's interesting? Have you... Am I outing myself a little bit too much here? I'm a mid-20-year-old woman who was raised on like anime. Of course I was into this. I'll never forget, honestly. One of the first experiences I had with anime was when I got my first set of chopsticks. Well, actually not my first set, my second set of chopsticks. And that was watching that anime, what was it? Ouran High School Host Club. And I'll never forget that because like the whole library, the younger ones didn't know what it was, but the older ones in the room, I could tell were like they were shipping I think Haru and the blonde-haired one. But I personally liked because I know a lot of them wish that Haru was a boy, so that, you know, again, the yaoi ship. But I liked Haru as a girl, and then the what was it? The dark-haired nerdy one who was like super smart. And he also had a crush on her, which is why I'm sad we didn't get that. But I'll never forget, I was there and I heard like the yaoi fandom like in the back. It was really funny. God, I think I was like 19 then. That was when I had my first cup noodle too. I'll never forget that either. Oh, I'll never forget that. That was such a time. Back when anime, there was like no Crunchyroll or anything. So I had to go to the library to rent DVDs and stuff. And it was so crazy. I couldn't just like binge it. I feel so old. Oh my god, I feel so old. Or like I had to stand up and like stay up till like super late. And I watched like Toonami, Adult Swim, all of those. And I remember I would stay up to watch like Inuyasha. Death Note I like, not as much. But yeah, it was so crazy. That was it's so different. So different now. That was when I got bullied. I mean, I was weird, so I'm not gonna say I got bullied just for liking anime. I was autistic back then. So for sure. I got bullied for liking Pokemon. But I liked it in middle school and past elementary school. That's why people. Yeah, anime was so different back then. The Yoi culture was so different back then. The Yuri culture was so different back then. Haze. Oh, Haze.
Find out the most effective
Recording by phone works essence of on a public platform like and
strategy to bring down an enemy CP brigadier was through phone and email reporting to the Anti-Pornographic Authorities Department.
Oh
Her
my
tactics
god.
was then quickly replicated throughout the battalion, which proved to be extremely effective all the way until late stages of the war. But for now, comes early morning. 12:58, 26th of February.
Silence, phone.
Seeing that the mass reports
You are muted.
somewhat
Why are
paying
you still
off,
speaking?
General Zambi then decides to employ a new tactic suitable for a siege, as hundreds of group chat platoons was created.
Oh
with a
no, not the
designated squadron
WeChat.
leader reporting to
Not
a
the
Whistle mobile
WeChat. Oh
command
my
center
god.
for easy communication. As it turns out, General Zambi discovered that the Chinese Great Firewall system can be used to their advantage, as websites that have servers offshore will automatically get blocked once they reach a certain traffic level. It's all automated.
That's so diabolical. That's so diabolical. I can't imagine going, I dislike this writing so much. I'm gonna get a bunch of people on WeChat and Weibo and Douyin, and we're gonna block the site. We're gonna force block the site just because I don't like it. Oh my god, that's fantastic. I love this culture. So I'm not a part of it, but I love watching it because it's such a shit.
This tactic
shit
essentially
show.
allows is a carpet bombing reporting format that directs all authentic user traffic to a concentrated area at a coordinated time to wreak havoc and flood the space with millions of activities at once. And with the preparations all set,
I love the use of anime as
General
well. It's so
Zambi
goofy.
issues the command.
The Blitz of AO3.
So under the relentless reporting assaults by Zambi strike platoons, within a few hours the fanfictions fell, blocked from the AO3.
No. The fall is over. They've all lost their chance at salvation. They're struggling, and that right now I'm 10-minute building. The Arthur who cried can. I love auto translating Chinese. It's always so gallant sounding. So great.
3 archive. On the other side of the battlefield, sensing a storm coming after the AO3 has been turned into a bloodbath, Lofter, the other major platform, bolsters up their defenses as netizens take effective countermeasures to hide their fanfictions. This one, for example, is a CP fan giving insight onto how some sensitive content can be hidden from the loyalist carpet bombing report radar by deleting a few
They
keyword
banned the
tags. On top of that,
tags to
Lofter
stop
officially
people
makes a
from
statement
finding it
same
as
day, promising
easily.
to hold their
Oh
ground
my
against
god!
network assaults. So, with both the combined efforts of the AO3 AO3 remnants and the CP brigades defending the copy on Lofter. The fanfiction remained unscathed, but at a very costly victory for Lofter. After all, nobody could stop the review bombs. Getting a taste of victory,
No, not
on the
the
27th
review
of February,
bombs.
Xiaodan loyalists doubles down with their taunts. If anybody insults, vilifies, or feminizes Xiaodan again and dares to post it on mainstream
I
platforms,
forgot it was
affecting
because
his
they
public image,
feminized
we will
him.
still dare to confront them. Only Xiaodan fans can protect him, with similar posts following suit flaunting their victory. And I mean, fair enough. After all, the loyalists employed such advanced tactics
Oh, I
against
love
such
this.
a
It's
minority
so
of
great.
subculture that the decisive victory was almost guaranteed against the CP brigade. All they could do was survive, let alone fight back. So then, why is there still half a video? Well, the answer to that question is because it's not a civil war
Yes.
unless the whole country gets involved. It comes 27th of February, a small quiet voice from a CP brigade calls to the internet screaming for injustice. Now, as it turns out, all this commotion and traffic the loyalists have caused has pretty much made AO3 a hot topic on
130
Weibo. But of course, the
billion.
loyalists had
Oh
no
my
idea. They were
God.
too busy with all this winning. So then a few netizens from other fandoms like anime and web novel subcultures began to fight back on behalf of the original CP brigades. We'll call them the Anti-Xiaodan Coalition. Now, they didn't really make that much difference at the time, but they were posting some pretty hard stuff. Check this out. So as word got around to General Zambi, where a group of, rabble, calling their movement the 227 was causing a bit of ruckus here or there, yeah, Zambi and the loyalists believed that this would be no threat. So, ignoring the movement, the loyalist factions begin to carry on a wide-scale attack on AO3 and Lofter, reporting every fanfiction on the platform. Now, perhaps drunk on victory,
Cross-platform.
essentially in the minds of the
Crazy.
loyalists, it made no difference what fanbase you hail from. If you aren't with us, you are against us. So then, following Zambi's reporting method,
If
along
you
with the
aren't
group
with
chat
us, you're
mass group
against
attacks
us
on the
is
midnight of the
insane.
27th, exact time remains unclear. A large number of posts on the Lofter platform were finally taken down by the development team out of fear of government crackdowns, because the reports were going directly to the authorities, and many notable writers deleted their accounts and went into hiding because loyalists were
Directly
attacking
to
their
the
personal social
authorities?
medias.
Oh my
But
God.
here's the main event. The report attacks were so effective that AO3's access within China was cut off. Because as it turns out, Zambi's tactics work so well that major network providers such as China Unicom and Telecom have disconnected the entire connection to the overseas AO3
Oh
network,
my
leaving
God.
essentially all
They
of China's
erased the
fandom with nothing
website.
to consume. And all of a sudden, billions of fandom netizens were left displaced and confused following the downfall of this archive.
They got rid of AO3. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love that. They're so nuts for that. I respect it. I respect it in like the most, like I could never. As like a former like anime fangirl, I could never imagine doing this. I could never imagine getting millions of people to coordinate an attack because I didn't like it. Never. That's the most I've ever been responsible for was like 100. Even that, I'm gonna. That was phone. Even that. I mean, at my peak, it was like 120. That was. I don't think I could do it. Light novel.
Then, a topic on Weibo begins to pick up some pretty serious heat. Xiaodan fans report AO3. Within a couple hours, half the country had pieced together what had happened. who
It's a
did the
good one,
attack,
yeah. It's
and
a
the
good
public
motto, not gonna
was
lie.
enraged. So by 22 o'clock, approaching midnight, every fandom imaginable within the Chinese internet was banding together to launch a counterattack against the Xiaodan loyalist faction. Because they...
Oh my God. A day worth remembering. Thursday, February 27th. My playlist, whether it's people studying magic, tomb raiding, playing games, reading, following celebrities, raising kids, or taking online classes, all of them took precious time. Besides shameless people, when unite is one. It's the great 227 you. Oh my God.
slaughtered our people, and they took our land. And the objective
They took
was
our
simple.
land.
Hit them where it hurts the most. Cancel the idol. But this was
No!
no easy task, you see. As at
Not
that
the
point in
idol,
time,
he didn't
Southern
do
Lawless faction
anything!
had amassed
Wait,
such a
no!
huge following thanks to Xiao Zhan's soaring popularity based on his performance in The Untamed. So, knowing that they'd have
Oh,
the
they were
advantage
freaking
here,
out at like a
the Loyalists
concert or
escalated the
something.
stakes by declaring war on the entire Chinese fandom. Bilibili, Tieba, 2D subcultures, whatever comes their way will be
That's a
dust in the
Billy.
past.
Oh my god.
One of the first non-BL fandoms that found themselves involved in the fight was the Qinghui Pavilion, a small traditional clothing hobby group. As loyalists pushed their way in, a fierce keyboard skirmish erupted, polluting the
The
group's
Hanfu
ecosystem.
community.
The members resisted until the very end, but the group fell quickly under the relentless spam attacks. The admins were overwhelmed and ultimately forced.
They
to disband.
really just said, yeah, okay, so everybody's getting hit. Fuck it. Everybody's catching these hands.
Netizens perished in this collapse. Now, following the aggressive expansions of the
perished.
Loyalists, another theater of war was opened in the literature subculture, as Asian and African literature bot was under fire because its algorithm unintentionally retweeted a piece of literature that had derogatory undertones against Xiao Zhan's nickname. Yeah, it is what it is. So some fans threatened to unfollow the bot, and the bot auto-generates a sarcastic reply saying, well, go ahead. And that was enough to spark an attack. And under tremendous pressure, once again, the development team pulled the plug on the bot, leaving the literature scene screaming for injustice. After all, he was just a bot. On the anti-Xiao Zhan coalition side, the 227 movement advances against Xiao Zhan's film and sponsors, as waves of negative review bombs drag the Untamed's rating
They
down
literally are
notches,
just going
and other
crazy.
works
Oh my
followed.
god.
Anti-Xiao Zhan commercial campaigns were also sent across every brand sponsor he was under.
Oh my god, they attacked his brand!
They will not purchase a single product ever again. And as both sides get more and more feral in this all-out war, particularly the Loyalists, they were beginning to lose track on who their actual enemy was. Now, under this fog of war,
They attacked so many people, they weren't sure who was who.
Firing on anybody and everything, until one day they accidentally trigger a community, one that is familiar with the game that is being played. The trash talking, the toxicity,
Oh no.
the coordinated
Oh
trolling.
no. Oh no! Not the gamers!
On the 29th of February, one stray loyalist opened fires in a chat room in an MMORPG called The Legend of the Swordsman Online 3, a game released in 2009 and still running till this day. But you see, what makes this game so special isn't the story or the graphics or the fact that it's old and nostalgic.
No.
Swordsman Online 3 had a very unique and very well-known reputation of being what many may call the Holy Land of Chinese online roleplay. Known as one of the best role-playing MMORPGs in Chinese gaming history, Swordsman Online 3 offers everything. Weddings, housing, deep dungeon systems,
okay, wait,
comprehensive
I wonder if it's
in-game
still up.
economy. The game has such a tight-knit community that even the developers frequently visit the game as players. But that's not what really made them famous, no. What made them famous was that the community is known to do anything just to prove a point. You see, there was some time back in 2018. The Swordsman Online 3 hired a few singers to promote their event. So the community complained about the overwhelming amount of comments about the singers instead of the actual game. So the fans of the singers responded saying, well, why would we talk about your stupid game? If anything, it's your game freeloading off our idol's popularity.
Oh no.
The player base was of course displeased. And then somebody in the player base had the idea. Well, the guy who made the game, Guo Weiwei, he's the closest thing we have to an idol, right? If we make him more popular than your singer, you would have nothing to say. So a makeshift Guo Weiwei fan group was created in 3 hours by the player base, along with a debut song and a catchy slogan as a
debut song? Did they debut a song for him? They Vocaloided this boy to make him more popular than their idol just to prove a point. Oh my god. I respect it. I respect it so much. I respect it so much. They're crazy. I love them.
As in vitamins, vitamins, you know. And within days, the player base boosted his popularity so much that he overtook the top idol in China, far surpassing the virality of those singers the game hired. The idol they overtook that day was Cai Shukun. So back to the present. The first shot was fired by a longtime player in the Loyalist faction called Xiao Zhan's boyfriend on Channel 8 World Chat. And as the text chats get a little
my
heated,
god!
the battlefield then shifts.
Oh my god! That's a text chat.
so they could battle without restrictions. The rest of the Swordsman Online 3 community quickly tuned in.
Look at
and
how
soon,
fast
loyalists
that
from
was
Weibo and even
going.
non-gamers were piling into the chat. The in-game chat rooms itself had over 40,000 active listeners, excluding streamers and open broadcasts, showing the debate live as rounds and rounds of representatives from each side takes the mic. But as the minutes go by, the loyalists could not hold their ground against the player base as one by one starts to tear up in the voice calls. So word gets back to the loyalist community, requesting for reinforcements. But the problem was, in this loyalist faction, there were a few of them who have heard of the reputation that this community has garnished before. So a withdrawal request was immediately issued, urging the loyalists not to engage with this community, as the consequences would be dire, as they could very well be unemployed enough to destabilize Xiao Zhan's throne as the #1 idol. But it's too late.
Unemployed enough.
The crusades already
No.
began. The player base has already started voting. As one rank after another, Guo Wei began to climb the charts once again in his sleep, eventually reaching the #1 position. Back to the voice channel. The world listens in. As this is the first time the two sides were able to clash directly, people held their breaths to see how it would end. The debate lasted for 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Only an hour?
Until one side finally fired the kill shot.
楼上那个粉丝，你先别哭了，我简单的说两句。是这样子的，因为我是之前有在娱乐圈实习过，然后我所有的朋友都在娱乐圈内。
My friends are in
我
it.
现在给
Yeah,
你
let me
讲
tell
一
you
下
what's
目前
happening
圈
in
内
the
的
field
风
right
向
now.
好吗？你不用哭了，你 idol 马
I
上
am
就
because
会
your idol is about to be cancelled.
For the first time,
Oh!
people had a tangible, naturally occurred punchline to use against the Xiao Zhan loyalists. It was clear that
You don't
morale
need
is
to
higher
cry.
than
Your
ever. Because
idol
while
is
all this
about to
happening, on the commercial
flop.
side of the war, so many
Oh,
people
that's
have joined in on the anti-Xiao Zhan
diabolical. Oh
coalition
my
that the boycott
God.
actually began to take effect as brands begin replacing posters of Xiao Zhan with other celebrities contracted under them. Estee Lauder, Colgate, Olay, all the big brands.
Oh my
were
God,
really
they
taking
removed
action.
this
Well, as
man.
expected, really, the people picked up their pitchforks, threatened to switch to their competitors. The brands had no choice but to take action, and under this unrelenting pressure, for the first time since the beginning of the war, the loyalists found themselves backed into a corner.
I just noticed
as
that
their
person's name was
beloved idol
Pomelo.
must
Those things are
deal
delicious,
afterdeal.
by the way.
The headquarters was a mess, as members discussed what they should do. Some even suggested that maybe
然后我们大家，我建议集体在视频里面磕头，给我们这个国家磕头。
Oh.
But whatever their actions may be,
Well, he
one
breaking
thing
it
is
down.
clear
What the
now.
hell?
The damage is already done, and they were
That's crazy.
powerless
That's
to
a-
stop
that's
all
a
this
crazy
from
battle, not gonna
happening.
lie.
Just when morale is at an all-time low, Zambi does the
Criticism.
unthinkable. On the first
So we've been trying to lower the trending topics since last night. Can't let the trending. I really need to get Weibo, and I don't think I can get WeChat anymore. I kind of locked that down. But Weibo, the other ones, I need to get. Hi, welcome in.
March, 9:29 a.m. The leader of the loyalists, Zambi, surrenders. I
Left to
apologize
your
to everyone
mercy.
affected by my horrendous remarks. My irrationality has caused a huge negative impact, and I apologize to everyone. I truly didn't anticipate the impact this action
Yes,
would have on other
Markiplier.
circles, but seeing the current consequences made me extremely uneasy and frightened. Those who are unintentionally dragged into this really is my fault. Please, everyone, criticize me in an attempt to draw fire away from their idol. Let's skip ahead a few
Aw.
lines. I hope my mistakes can
They were
serve as a
nuts, but I
warning to
respect
others.
it. They
We
were
really
nuts, but I
shouldn't be
respect
so
it.
ignorant and impulsive. The consequences of doing wrong are truly unbearable. Netizens rejoiced at the surrender of General Zambi, even marking it as a historical moment in the 227. But you see, this did not extinguish the raging fire, as many were still enraged at the displacement of their homes. Once a peaceful community now ceases to exist because of their devious hate campaign. As many loyalists begged for mercy for the public to spare their idols, the anti-Xiao Zhan coalition pushed on relentlessly, comment after comment. Xiao Zhan, the same day, finally made an official response, but it was too late once again. As by this point, his team had no idea the damages the
Hello,
loyalists
welcome
have
in.
caused, so the response was subpar at best. So the question now, if you've made it this far, is it truly over for the idol? Well, not if the fans had anything to say about it. See, without General Zambi on their side, their coordination seems to be halved, but both the Loyalists and the CP Brigade could see that if the anti-Xiao Zhan coalition continues to gain more ground, then there may not be an idol left for them. Setting aside their differences, the Loyalists halt their attacks on the CP content, and from that, a new faction emerges. A new commander takes the wheel as King Gigi drafts up a war plan. Prioritize sponsors,
Ooh.
protect the comments, lower the hot search ratings first. As for app ratings and dramas, put them aside for now, report them later. Today, if we don't release a Xiaozhan edit, don't rush us, give us adequate time. When the edits are released, remember to protect the comment section, but don't argue, just
This
make
is
sure the
so
top comments
crazy.
are positive. We cannot afford another hot search run. We cannot control it anymore. This is a war of attrition. Everybody to your stations. And war of attrition it was. As the
All
227
boycotted
movement
sponsors,
spread
so they
far and
message them,
wide,
I think.
Twitter, Instagram, state media, throughout a 2-month period, over 150 brands were swept up in this tidal wave. As the war rages on, and the casualties start to incur in real life as police gets involved, people lose their jobs. Morale for both sides was at an all-time low. Until the 27th of April. Xiaozhan himself breaks the silence. A public apology for causing trouble for everybody. Please don't hurt the others.
That's
Following this
wild.
apology was his new song, Spotlight. And to
Aww.
others, this seemed more like another one of his campaigns attempting to capture virality to direct traffic into his new song using the situation. But for Xiaozhan's defense force and the loyalists at its core, this was an opportunity to show the world everything
It was good
their
again,
movement stood
yeah.
for. If they could push his song somehow to the top of the charts, the public would have nothing left to say. He'd reclaim the #1 spot, and from that point onwards,
So
his
another
team will
organized
do the rest.
attack.
He will be uncancelable. So as one hand joins another, together,
Our
they'll
little
launch a
princess,
final
they called him a
coordinated
princess, it's
assault.
hilarious.
Soon, a message began to be passed around. Do what you can afford doesn't mean buy 10 or 8 tickets as a token gesture. Do what you can afford means doing your best. If you can buy 100 tickets, grit your teeth and buy 300. And amongst them all, those who contributed the most wore this badge of honor. And so it began. As one after another, loyalists started to pick up enormous
Whining
amounts of
caused
tickets.
trouble?
100,
Oh my god.
300, 1,000 copies is a minimum for those who are employed. Because this is redemption. And through the combined efforts of Little Flying Knights all around the country, by January 2023, Spotlight sold over 54 million digital copies, surpassing Ed Sheeran's Shape
Wow.
of You and the certified classic Despacito. As billions
Not
of people watched
Despacito.
collectively in real time, a miracle has actually occurred. It's been 2 years since the 227 movement, and Xiaozhan's career has made a healthy recovery. It was a war of attrition, 2 years of unwavering persistence from the community. Technically, the 227 never really ended, as extremists from both sides are still fighting till this day.
That's
but at least
crazy.
an outcome was achieved for both sides. As a war like this never broke out again, we don't talk about that one, and the fandom circle was at peace once again. And the loyalist fanbase, who were once shunned, can finally call themselves Xiaozhan supporters again, respectfully earned, of course, without too much criticism. A fanbase like this was never replicated again despite many attempts by corporations. And I mean, how could they? After all, there are no fans more devoted than the fans of Xiaozhan. I'm Jay Gao, and that was the Great Fandom War of China.
Oh my god. That's so
Are you
crazy.
bored out of your mind tonight?
That's so crazy. I love it. That's it. That's it. That's it. I love that. Oh my god. Fandoms are fandoms are great. Fandoms I've never been at a fandom that was that crazy. I think the closest thing I've ever done was I used to role play. I don't think I've ever been in a fan. It's respectable in like the craziest way. I think it I gotta admit. I gotta admit. That's wow. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Huh? Now we just finished up the video. I started pretty early today. I got to switch time, so I thought I was gonna. I had a interview at 8 a.m. but it turns out my interview is at 8 p.m. and it's only 30 only 30 minutes. But I might stream a bit later as well. I'll be streaming the VoopCat event, but it'll be after like 8:30. But I went to stream this early in case I absolutely didn't get a way to stream later. See, I post that I stream, I just don't say what time. Because unfortunately, I'm still pretty sick. Oh, and I did want to tell you guys, it's not set in stone yet. I do have another illness. Not too bad. Don't worry. Don't worry yet. However, I may have to appear. It's not set in stone. It's not set in stone. The trial medicine hasn't gotten here yet. And it won't be forever. No, it won't be forever. Wait, hold up. It won't be forever. It won't be forever. But so I'm really alert. Okay, well, my body does not like antibiotics, right? And when I was a baby, I used to have a lot of ear infections. So they tried a lot of antibiotics. Right. Okay, stay with me. So, turns out I've got an infection, and apparently I've had it for quite a while. I finally went to a good doctor. I switched all my, well, not all of them, but most of them, to a different doctor because I had, if you follow my Twitter, you know that they've been treating me kind of bad in my home city. So I finally went to one, and they were like, yeah, so you've got 2 strains right now that are causing this infection. And I was like, oh, me? And they were like, yeah, but you're allergic to like penicillin, amoxicillin, cefrizol. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I supposedly am. This is when I was like a baby. I'm willing to try it because I mean, what's the worst that happens? I get hives. Oh my god, I take a Benadryl and sleep, right? Worst that happens, rash, Benadryl, whatever. But they were trying to get me to take the one that makes me get really like tummy hurty, pukey. And I was like, I'd rather just try a penicillin, you know what I mean? And they weren't willing to, which, I admit, I understand, I get it, it's fine, they're doctors, I respect their opinion. But, they called one in, finally. I went the weekend without it, and I called one in, so they finally decided, we had to talk it out, decide, like, what medicines I'm on and stuff like that. And so we finally found one that might work, and so I'm gonna take it. I have to get it, hopefully, today. I have to call them when the stream ends, right? And I have to take it for 10 days. And they're hoping taking this one will restore everything enough to where my body can fight off the other. I don't remember which one it is. Because it's some long medical name. I could find it on my phone, but I'm not going to. So I'm gonna take this one, and maybe 10 days. Twice a day, 10 days. So we're gonna be Gucci. However, if it doesn't work, they're gonna have to try antibiotics that I can't get in pill form. So I might have to go in hospital. Maybe. Probably not. We're gonna assume not. Because again, we're gonna pray for the best. That's never happened before. My body's been fighting this for a while, so it's probably strong enough to fight it off now. We're gonna assume everything's gonna happen properly. If it doesn't, I'll let everybody know, of course. Not an issue. Yeah. However, honestly, it's gonna sound funny. I honestly don't care if I have to go in hospital. I just miss streaming, obviously. But I'm ready for this to be over because I'm hoping this is the cause of some of the pain that I've been in. especially since I've probably had this for a really long time. I've been in pain with this stuff for a really long time. Yeah, I honestly think my body is going to fight it off. It's going to fight off the other half if I take this medicine. I think it's going to be okay in like 10 days. I have to get retested, so I'm getting retested in 2 weeks, but I have to take 10 days worth of medicine. So I honestly think it's going to be fine. But I like to keep you guys updated, kind of like an Iron Mouse situation, you know what I mean? I don't want to just suddenly go, oh, by the way, I'm in hospital. I would scream if I was a fan and I saw that suddenly in my Discord. I would scream. I would scream. But yeah. Hopefully, I now have a lovely doctor, and I have to go get more tests, and they're going to help me. So they've also done some other stuff to help me. So I'm in really good hands, I think. I'm in really good hands, and if I suddenly disappear or if I'm not able to post, I don't know what the hospital will be like. If I'm not able to, I'll try. I'll maybe text my roommate or text, I don't know, a VTuber friend to put something out for me if there's no way I can do it. But yeah. If I suddenly don't stream for a week or something like that, don't. I'll be. I've come back from stupider things. Yeah, I wanted to give you that kind of as a update. I'm doing better. I've got some stuff and things to do. But yeah, we're working it out. We're working it out. Aw, that's so cute. I love that. What is that? Wait, what? Oh yeah, and I'm still I don't know what's made it so. Okay. I don't know what that was. I think I'm gonna go. Sorry about that. My stomach is currently not happy, and I'm not sure over what. It's been like that since like 2 this morning. I'm gonna go and possibly stream later. Sorry about that. I know that probably sounded kind of gross if the mic picked that up. Kind of gagged. Uh, y'all have a good one. All right. Go get some coffee or some tea or bubble tea. Honestly, if you've got milk and green tea bags, which is probably what I'm gonna go have. That's always fantastic. You can make bubble tea at home just without the balls in your mouth. Yes, I had to say it like that. I had to call it balls. No, you'll be good. Don't kill anybody. Remember, you can't watch me, and there's not good food in jail. Bye. Stream will be uploaded to the VOD channel. You can access that in the Discord. That's crazy. That's genuinely nuts. I respect it. Bye.